Right, so it's about 8:15 in the morning and we're here outside our favourite coffee shop, which is at Garth Garden Centre in Four Marks in Hampshire, and we're about to start our ride down to Alton station to begin our journey to Brockenhurst. So we've made it to Alton station now, which was about a 5-mile ride down through the forest, or down through the woods, which was really nice actually, given all the rain we had yesterday. But now we've got to get the 2 bikes from this platform over to that one. Yep. So we've made it onto the train from Alton to Woking, which is in completely the wrong direction, but Alton being at the end of the Waterloo line, we've got no choice but to go completely the wrong way in order to change trains and come back down to Brockenhurst. It was really easy getting the bikes on the train. There was lifts at the station over the tracks, which was really helpful. And we've now got the bikes in position on the train, and we are just
Brockenhurst. This train is for Weymouth. The next station is Hollands.
right then. So we're off the train now and we are in the village of Brockenhurst in the New Forest, and we've just stopped here at the Buttery Cafe and Tea Rooms for a spot to eat because it's almost lunchtime, and then we'll head off down to the campsite, which is, I don't know, a mile or so away, something like that. So we've locked the bikes up over there in amongst the flowers, and we're just having a look at the menu to see what we fancy for lunch. Well, that was fairly easy setting up the tent. It went up in about 15 minutes or so, something like that. And now I think it's only about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so Natalia and I are going to head off on a little route around the New Forest to see what we can find. There's a disused railway down there somewhere, down the other side of Brockenhurst I think, and we'll just go and see what we can see. We're about 6.5 miles into our ride. We've had some fairly hefty headwinds and sidewinds so far, but we've just turned off the track for a couple of 100 metres along a quiet little road, and there's this absolutely gorgeous stream. Let's take a look at this. Really sweet little stream in the middle of the forest. Over there to what I guess is a Victorian bridge, and given the fact that we had absolutely torrential rain all day yesterday, this sunshine is gorgeous, and the ground is generally pretty well drained, so yeah, it's good. I think we've got about another 12 miles to go, something like that, maybe 16. Don't know yet, we'll see. Good morning, it's day 2 of our New Forest adventure. We had a relatively comfortable night last night in our little high peak sparrow tent. There's not a huge amount of room in here, but we did manage to get both the bikes unpacked and all the gear safely stored inside. And I hid the bikes under some bracken, which worked nicely because nobody pinched the. Say good morning, honey.
Morning.
Nobody pinched them. And today we are going to go kind of just over there, really, to the New Forest show, and spend the day having a little look around over there to see what's going on. So it's 3 o'clock here at the New Forest Show. We've had a fantastic time so far, seen loads, had a couple of beers, and we've eaten far too much, but we're having a great time.
The White Handbands are up, and it's neck and neck between the West Hampshire District and the Staff College. Up they go. This is going to be oh so close. Now they take the turn, and now they charge, and now they lean, and now they lean. Who's it going to be?
Well, we had an absolutely fantastic day at the New Forest Show today. It's now 6:45, I think, and the sun's beginning to go down, the temperature's beginning to ease off a little bit, and I'm cooking up some dinner. Now this evening we are being treated to Wayfarer, pasta and bolognese, and meatballs and pasta. So it'd be quite interesting to see how they taste like. The what did we have last night? Chicken tikka. Yeah, chicken tikka we had last night was really tasty, and all you got to do is put those 2 pouches in some boiling water. They're good to go. So it'll be really interesting to see what they taste like. The chicken tikka was fantastic. This wide open plain, as it were, that you see behind me reminds me quite a lot of African plains, and with its wide open flatness and its vistas scattered with wild animals, particularly the New Forest ponies. And much of the timber that was here was taken down in the 17th and 18th century for use in ships for the Royal Navy, but evidence of the land being used here dates back to around 4,000 years. It's a magical place, so if you can come, then do. There are plenty of camping sites around the place for you to choose from, and this one, Hollands Wood, has been really, really good. Now our way out of the forest tomorrow is roughly that way. Morning everybody, today's the 2nd of August and we're just packing up the bikes, as you can see behind me in the tent there. We're getting ready to head off on our, I think it's about a 23-mile journey from the New Forest to Marwell Zoo, where we've got a pitch booked for tonight, which will be night 3 of our little adventure, which so far has been going really, really well. There's been no rain, and it's just been really gorgeous actually. A really nice introduction to bike packing stroke bike touring. So the bikes are being packed away. Let me show you. So this is mine. Come on, focus, there it is. Right, so that's mine. That's Natalia's, and Natalia's over there just sorting out.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard at night. Playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. And it doesn't even matter to me where I go, I just feel I need to take a ride. Got my coffee cup to go, and I'm gonna hit the road tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
We've come across the forest up here, and we are currently just over the top of the Bewley River. As you can see, it's only very small at the moment, and we need to cross over the bridge, which we are standing on at the moment, and join a track that is over there.
I don't know when I'll get back. Keep on going and relax tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing.
Right, we're out of the New Forest now and back onto the really busy main road between Ashurst and Lyndhurst, and we are on, there's Natalia, and we are on National Cycle Network Route 236 on a footpath that is for, or a path that is for pedestrians and cyclists, as that sign up there designates, which means we can keep safe and the traffic can keep flowing.
Finally we are in Southampton, so I can have my food. We just stopped at the McDonald's before we're heading off to Marwell Zoo.
Playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
After the hustle and bustle of the city, we've got a little bit of respite to cross over Southampton Common before we break out the other side of the city and then start to head out again into the countryside. And it's rather nice here actually. I've never ever been here, even though I live fairly locally. Right, it's been a long old ride today, 23 odd miles, something like that. It's been brilliant, we've had a great time. Navigating through Southampton was a bit tricky, but we've been to the campsite, we've got set up, and we've ridden 1.5 miles back down the road to the Queen's Head, where we're going to have some dinner. Certainly need some dinner. It's been a really good, very hot day today, and we're looking forward to well, something to eat, a night's kip, and then about 17 miles home in the morning.
Morning everybody. Morning. It's about 10 past 7 on Saturday for our last little leg to get home again. We've had an okay night here at Marwell. There was a group of younger people having a bit of a party till whatever time it was. But still, it's a glorious day today. I'm just going to have a bit of breakfast and then head home. Just while we're packing up, I thought I'd show you my bike stand, or our bike stands, that are lighter than a couple of kickstands attached to the bike. It's just a length of paracord attached to the saddle rails with a little mini carabiner. Then there's another one that comes across to Natalia's saddle, and then the other side runs down there. Now, it's not as quick to use as a kickstand, but it is lighter.
So we've stopped at the village called Aylesbury, and whilst Martin is pumping our tyres, and there is a very nice church of St. Andrews, and so far it was uphill all the time, so we are a bit puffing.
We're a few miles along and we are a few miles outside of the village of Bramdean, and we're climbing all the way up into the South Downs National Park, which we live very luckily just outside of. And the roads are fairly quiet today, being Saturday morning, but this is kind of the view that we cycle for around Hampshire. It's absolutely stunning. Very, very quiet. We're about 6-7 miles away from home now, and we've stopped in the Try again. So we're about 6 or 7 miles away from home now, and we've stopped in the gorgeous Hampshire village of Cheriton for a cup of coffee and some Eccles cakes, and just take a little look around. We're sat on a bench in the village green, and there's a little stream that's running through the village, or running through the village green. Fairly quiet, and there's a bridge over there. And Cheriton's not too far away from the A272. And if you want to come and have a quiet picnic lunch, then this is an ideal place to do it. So we're nearly home. We're a few miles away from home, and this This information board is one of the places we visit quite regularly, and it's the scene of the Battle of Cheriton from the 29th of March 1644. Very informative board overlooking the battlefield, where 20,000 or so troops of the Royalist and Parliamentarian armies lined up to fight each other. War's a crazy thing. But now it's rather peaceful, apart from the chainsaw down there in the woods. It's really nice up here, but back then it must have been absolute carnage. Well, we've just rolled home after our nearly 18-mile trip from Marwell back home, and we've just had the most fantastic 3-4 days. A really great introduction to sort of bike packing and bike touring. The bikes handled exceptionally well. I'm really pleased with how both of them handled. We'll talk about the bikes in sort of future videos and stuff. No mechanical issues or anything like that, but I think both bikes could do with a new bottom bracket, and other than that, just fantastic. And yeah, really happy. What did you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed every minute of our trip and looking forward to plan our new trip, which hopefully will come soon.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I'm going to be out again week after next on a little 3-day tarping adventure. But if you have enjoyed this video, please do like, share and subscribe, and we'll both look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.